Most people think politics feels confusing right now because they're not paying enough attention. Well, that's the story they're telling themselves. But if you are watching the headlines, following the polls, listening to the experts, and still feeling like none of it adds up, that's not ignorance. It's pattern failure. It feels a bit like watching an All Blacks side where the players are elite, the systems are familiar, the commentary sounds confident, and yet something is clearly off. Dave Whitburn, is the economy under pressure still?
The economy is still under pressure. Lots of mixed messages. Yes, there's some uncertainty there with Donald Trump. He's upsetting the rules-based order for things, and the New Zealand government's not looking quite as stable as things. Will the election be the first one-term government since the Nash government in 1972, overturned by Sir Robert Muldoon's Cossack dancing troops in 75?
Rolling.
That's right. Good point. The uncertainty is out there. The economy has some challenges for it. We have to be really mindful that a lot of people vote based upon their economic security as well. What do they think is going to be best for them and their family's future as well? It's not quite so clear-cut.
Well, it really is James Carville's quote, which is the greatest quote in politics. It's the economy stupid, which got Bill Clinton to power. So it's the economy stupid. It comes down to the economy. Are people feeling good about themselves? Are people feeling good about themselves? I'm not so sure they are.
It's a mixed bag. Some people are feeling very good. Some people are really stressed, and lots in the middle. And that's the whole problem there. That's why the polls only show mild gain to the centre right, holding a mild lead. That's a little bit interesting because normally that lead's sort of entrenched and grows a little bit in that first little while.
You are so ingrained in what's happening in property.
Yes.
And we all know that a political party that wins Auckland wins the election. And Chris Bishop is not the tooth fairy when it comes to Auckland at the moment.
Chris Bishop is a total muppet for what he has done to Auckland. He's really hurt national tonga, like former Mayor Christine Fletcher, hugely popular and hardworking local board member Troy Churton. Irate at him. National Party stewards really unhappy to the point where I've heard from some friends who are National Party election campaign managers or on electorate committees. There's fundraising for the electorate candidate, not the National Party vote. Why? I want Chris Bishop gone, and perhaps Nicola Willis and some of the other ones there, the Wellingtonians that think they know how to run Auckland. In the last election, National hit over 45% of the party vote in Auckland. Yet, what is National polling in Auckland right now? Around 35%, a 10% drop-off in the place that's got just over 1/3 of New Zealand's population. That's dangerous. One of the big reasons.
So he's a political liability. If you're
Bishop is a liability.
If you're Luxon, you're getting rid of him now.
They'd bench him. Why on earth is he the campaign manager for National? He's not particularly good at it. He needs to go. He's a liability for the party there. I'm sure he's a hardworking guy and a good guy. I only talked to him once, but on your bike, son, you're doing too much damage. You must go.
Okay, so I've got the solution for the National Party or the Labour Party. They want to win the next election. We've got two guys who are a bit white bread. We put in the most experienced political campaigner to get through the next 3 years because we have no idea what Trump's going to do. And this is one guy who has plenty of political capital. He always stays on centre, and he has been in both parties, so both governments.
Winston Raymond Peters.
I am talking Winston Peters. I'm saying to you,
the octogenarian.
He's 81 this year. Okay, amazing. And I think his marbles are as good as. You know, his marbles better than you. You're 47.
Yeah, but he's a sharp cookie. That's a big call. I think well, he's not going to be the number one party. I think National and Labour will both outpoll New Zealand first. I appreciate they've had a good poll, hit 12%.
So both of them are going to need New Zealand first to govern.
That'd be a pretty ballsy coalition negotiation. I came second or third or whatever they get in the party vote, and then say, I need to be Prime Minister. That's a big call.
I think that what's happened, Obama was the first celebrity president. And I think what Trump has done, he has rewritten the rule book so much that when you have an effective politician, I thought Biden was effective. You know, he got people out of Afghanistan. He did a lot of good things that other presidents didn't do. Yes, don't give me that. Look, seriously, no, we're not going down the Biden route, but don't sit there. Every other president didn't have the guts, including Donald Trump, to get the troops out of Afghanistan. So he made hard decisions. It doesn't matter. He's considered white.
The execution was woeful on that.
For fuck's sake. Like, it's...
JFK.
Anyhow, he was bland, okay? He was bland. People don't like... In this era, he was bland.
Boring joke.
Right? And
sleepy joke.
Unfortunately, or fortunately, Luxon's bland. and
Yeah.
and Hipkins is boring. He's a career politician. The one guy,
Both good guys.
yeah,
Yep.
good guys like
Like them both.
yeah, I do. I've met both of them. Look,
Yep,
the one
same.
guy that's going to get you through is Winston through these tough times, and he stays on the right side of America. What he did with the tweets he did the other day
The WHO.
with the WHO,
Health.
yeah, and I thought he's got the credibility to say this, and it's not going to cost him votes, and he can say the right thing in
Probably
an
gain votes.
uncertain world right now and keep us on side with America.
Yes, you can. America's only just overtaken Australia to be the number 2 export partner for us, but it's the 3rd import partner. China still has number 1 spot in both of those. We might not need to pander to them as much as other countries and economies do, such as the UK, but more in particular Mexico and I guess Canada as well.
I don't know where they get their meat from in America. I haven't done the research.
Mainly from themselves.
Okay. What about
We've got a 10% tariff, and I appreciate
right?
that.
But why, if Canada's pissing them off and the NATO allies are pissing them off,
Yep.
which is just unbelievable.
Yeah,
You'd be fighting.
definitely.
It's just unbelievable. So he puts, even Switzerland. Like
Yeah.
even Switzerland, he's you've got a 29% tariff on Switzerland, and now it's gone down to 15 because Rolex went there. Like, okay, New Zealand, you got Winston there, no tariffs. We want more of your shit.
Yeah, I'd trust him.
Yeah.
You're right. I'd trust him over others to do it, and that could put it.
And he's been foreign minister for so long.
Yeah, the worst thing for the economy would be to have an all-out tariff war where China puts on tariffs, US puts on tariffs. Well, then we've got a problem. That'll slash our GDP.
I reckon
Right.
Winston, being the prime minister, having been the foreign minister for so long, just in different governments, he gets on the right side of Trump, and Trump goes, "Okay, free, get into the country. We're more of your stuff. We're going to do." There's an opportunity there for New Zealand.
There's an opportunity. Maybe he needs to continue to be the foreign minister, though, not the prime minister. Maybe he'll still have that manner and that respect to do it.
You think about all the leaders. It's Starmer, Albanese,
Toast.
all the Carney. They're all hated by Trump.
They're hated by Trump, but Starmer won't last past June. He's hated in his own party. He's absolutely tanking it. They're facing one of the biggest whippings. Reform will sweep to power.
We just need a prime minister to keep us steady. And he's got more experience than anyone else, and he has consistently, with New Zealand First, since he formed it in 1992, been on the centre benches. And historically, the party that is closest to the centre of the major parties always becomes the government, always gets the most votes. So cometh the hour, cometh the man. And I don't support him.
Yeah, no, I don't believe that he will be the prime minister, though, because it's too big a move to surrender for the National and Labour Party bases, though, and all their supporters and the machinery around them. They wouldn't accept a different party being the leader.
Do you really think National would say, actually, yeah, okay, we didn't poll that well, but yeah, Winston, we're not going to agree to you, so Hipkins can be the prime minister? And are you serious? They're not going to do that.
And in negotiation, it'd be an awkward shakedown. I'm sure Winston's an absolute master of these ones as well. I just don't think he'd actually push to be the prime minister as well. He might push for more of his MPs to be on the benches, the cabinet benches. I think that might be something that he asks for. Being prime minister, I'm really not sure that he actually do that. He may well do a good job. I agree with that. He probably do an excellent job, but he won't be the PM.
Look, I don't think he rates either Luxon or Hipkins. He's already said things about Luxon, even when he was deputy prime minister. You're 81 years old this year. Look,
yeah, it's now or never. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Father Time does catch up with you. You look at the popes. You look at Trump's schedule in the second term. He's not traveling as much. It keeps him at home.
Yep, absolutely. Winston, I'm not disagreeing with you. Winston would do a good job, but he's not going to be PM. It's too much of a sacrifice for late National Labour to give up, and they wouldn't do that.
Okay, so do you think that Luxon gets through to the election? Because the good oil we've heard is that there's going to be a coup in April, and Erica Stanford is going to be the prime minister.
Where did you hear that from?
A very good source.
Okay.
Right?
And
Simeon Brown is going to be the deputy prime minister. That's what we do.
Yep. So you get a liberal with Erica and a conservative with Simeon. Look, both very talented people, and that's quite a good combination. But it's probably an election cycle or two too early. Luxon will get through. Luxon just needs to just try to be that little bit more likable, get those sound bites going there, hopefully get a few more media on side as he explains his junior division, keep those levers turning to get the economy pumping. A little bit more migration, I think, would help that as well. That would help give some confidence. And I think that he'll be able to do it and cobble together a government with ACT and the New Zealand First parties joining in with him. But they're performing quite strongly, whereas the National Party aren't. And that's the beauties of MMP. First past the post system, it'd be problematic, but it's less problematic.
Luxon's the Reuben Thorne of New Zealand politics. The invisible man.
Very solid player, puts in a lot of work there. Yeah,
people don't know how the hell he keeps the captaincy.
He also missed a tackle in the World Cup semi-final in 2023. I don't know, Carl Spencer gets blamed for 2003, but that was a shame. Look, he was a.
No, we're getting off the topic. I'm just saying that he's the invisible man. Like Reuben Thorne, we didn't know how the hell he kept the All Black captain, but he was
overseas. He's been working hard on the India trip. That's when he's in his element, talking with business people there about getting the economy moving. And we mentioned before about it's all about the economy, and it is. We've got to win the economic battle, make it relevant so people feel that they've got more money in their back pocket at the end of each month than they had at the start. And a government that can move you forward, you need to trust that. So I think he's able to bridge that gap a little bit better, which is why there'll be a narrow victory to the centre-right.
So we know for a fact that the main political parties don't make any decisions without polling.
That's right.
Right?
That's crucial for them.
Right? Winston is the only one who, and David Seymour, but David Seymour's right to centre. He's realistically, he's not right. Yep. No, you've got to be centrist. Right, so I don't believe for a moment that Winston is sitting there looking at polls and going, I can't say that, I can't say that. He's going to be the difference more than anyone else this year because he's got a free rein. He's in the government right now. He's not the Deputy Prime Minister. No. He can say, and he will say what he likes.
Absolutely. There was another astute move to have the election campaign when you're not Deputy Prime Minister.
Yeah, it was done by Luxon, right? So the reality is, he is going to be the most charismatic, the most vocal, the most interesting politician in 2026.
Absolutely. He'll be slightly hard to manage. He'll be the calls for oil, gas, mineral extraction there as well. It'd be really tricky. Yep. And add in Shane Jones as well. He's not afraid to say a few things there. Yeah. It'd be a nightmare for Prime Minister Luxon to manage. Or if they get close to Labour, that would work too, because Labour and New Zealand First could actually govern there. It's just not with the Greens.
Winston's national.
Fundamentally, he's national, all in his DNA and his wiring. He's in the Young National Party, which is played on the right wing for Auckland University. He's a wonderful rugby player too, and he, of course, was a national MP since 1978. But I believe that that's his natural calling. However, he's still got a committee and he wants to be in power, so he'll see who gets the best deal that gets him his policy platform. And if that comes from Labour, he'd take it.
Most people are waiting for politics to settle back into something recognisable. A clear frontrunner, a clear narrative, a sense that the scoreboard actually means what it used to. But that assumes the game has been played the same way. In New Zealand and the US, a lot of people still sound confident explaining what comes next. And a lot of people quietly feel like they are guessing. The gap is the interesting part.